Hello students! In our previous video, we learned how to calculate mean of the given group data using assumed mean method. As the name suggests, in this method we assumed one of our xi's as mean. Recall that in our previous case it was 450. And then we calculated deviation di by subtracting assumed mean, that is 450, from the other xi's. And by doing so, we observed that our values of xi reduced and shifted or deviated towards the left. That is, it deviated by a units, which in our case were 450 units. And this made our calculation smaller and simpler. And this deviation of numbers was compensated by adding same unit a, that is 450, that we subtracted from xi just to reduce our calculations. And thus our formula for finding mean by assumed mean method was x bar equal to sigma fi di upon fi plus a, where fi is frequency, di is deviation that we have calculated, which is found out by xi minus a, which is the assumed mean. But what if we have chance to reduce our calculations still further? What if we can step down our values even further to smaller values? Thinking how can we do that? Students, if you observe the column where we have listed our di's, we find that they all are multiples of class interval or class size h. Here in our example, class size is 20. And so what if we divide all our di's by 20? That is h units. You can see that this still reduces our values further by h times. And after the division, we get a new set of numbers which we call as ui. Let us list them in another column in the table. And student, the rest story remains the same. We mean the rest of the method of calculating mean remains the same. That is, take the product of fi, that is frequencies, and ui's corresponding to that frequencies. Sum all fi ui and put all these values in the formula sigma fi ui upon sigma fi into h plus a. Now students, observe that in our previous method, assumed mean method, we multiplied nothing to our sigma fi di upon sigma fi. Here we are multiplying h with this term. It is because this compensates the division that we did to reduce our di's. And thus after this multiplication, all our values comes to the original position and they are no more shifted. So the mean that we will get will be for our actual data set and not for the deviated values. Note students that since here we are taking one step more to reduce the values of deviations, we call this method as step deviation method. Now just like our previous method, let us quickly see how this formula has been derived. Now students, here if we want to find out mean of this new column that we have added, that is FIUI, how can we do that? Very simple. Just take average of all the FIUIs. That is, just like we calculate mean of group data using direct method, which is sigma FIXI upon sigma FI. Similarly, just calculate the mean of this column U bar by formula sigma FIUI upon sigma UI. But students, we know that UI is nothing but deviations divided by H. That is, when we divided our deviations by H units, that is 20, which is also xi minus a upon h, since d is xi minus a. So substitute this value in the above equation. We get u bar equal to sigma fi into bracket xi minus a upon h whole upon sigma fi. Now students, simplify this equation further and we get u bar is equal to 1 upon h into bracket sigma fi xi upon sigma fi. Recall that sigma fi xi upon sigma fi is our mean for the original data x bar. Therefore, substitute this in the equation in place of sigma fi xi upon sigma fi and we get u bar is equal to 1 upon h into x bar minus a, which is hu bar is equal to x bar minus a. Now students, rearrange this and we get x bar is equal to hu bar plus a, that is mean x bar is equal to a plus hu bar. Now again substitute the formula of u bar, that is sigma fi ui upon sigma ui, and we get the final formula to find mean using step deviation method. So here x bar is the mean of the original data, a is the assumed mean, h is the height of class, that is class size, and ui is d by h, where d can be calculated using xi minus a, and put all these values in the formula from the given data and calculate the mean. So students, can you find mean of the following data with step deviation method? Try. We will see it in our next video.